Hey guys, welcome. In this video tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how you can make your very own website using the same step-by-step method in which I use to create my own websites and that of my clients. Later on in this video, I'll also be sharing with you a few tips and tricks in which you can use to rank above your competitors. I am Brian Harris from WP Multiverse, and without further ado, let's get started with the tutorial. So to start with, you can head over to WP Multiverse to get the step-by-step guidelines in how to create your very own website, which we'll be outlining in this video. So the first step would be choosing your CMS content management system, and I would recommend using WordPress. It powers over 27% of all websites hosted on the internet, including CNN, the Forbes blog, Jay-Z's websites, and a few other famous artists around the world. So I'd recommend going with WordPress. There's other alternatives such as Tumblr, Blogger, Medium, and a few others. So the second step would be choosing your own domain name. And if you're going to go for something generic like online store, it's most likely taken. And to quickly check and get other domain name suggestions, I'd recommend checking out NameMesh. You can also check the Shopify, Game Boy, and so on. So let's head over to NameMesh and see. So say for example, if I wanted to create a website entitled Brian Harris. Let's have a look. Let's see if it's available. Most likely not. Okay, so brianharris.com, it's not available. .org is available, however, so's .co. It's not bad. There's a few others. For SEO purposes, I could use the brianharris.com, ibrianharris.com, my Brian Harris, me, and so on. But the website I'll be creating, in fact, shall we try it? I'm gonna check for Made in Brian, which is my Twitter handle. Let's see if that's available. Hit generate. Okay. Yep, Made in Brian is available. So guys, all you need to do is just head over to NameMesh and double check to see whether your domain is available or not. And it will give you a few useful suggestions of similar domain names in which you can acquire. So let's head back to our guide. So it's saying step 3 is finding your hosting website, and you'll need a hosting account so you can share your website with the world or a few friends or whomever you choose. Okay. So over the last 9 years, if not 10, I've hosted with several hosting companies, and I've documented it in this guide here. So I've used SiteGround, InMotion, GreenGeek, Bluehost, StableHost, WP Engine, A2Host, Tin, HostGator, DreamHost, and a few others. And out of all of those that I've mentioned, I would recommend going with SiteGround. It's very cheap and affordable. You get automatic updates, advanced WordPress support, and they've also been recommended by WordPress themselves. So it's a truly fantastic hosting company, and that's who we'll be using in this tutorial. If you look down in the description below, if you click the link to SiteGround, you'll get a massive discount. So be sure to do that, and I'll also be credited for that recommendation. So let's continue. Let's head over to SiteGround. Let's open that in a new tab. Okay, so SiteGround's just loading, and we've already came up with our domain name. In my case, that will be Made in Brian, and for you it's whatever you choose. So to start with, I'm going to go with the startup plan. So let's click get started. Okay, and here it says register a new domain. If you've already got your domain name, you can click I've already got my domain name and you just enter it there. But in my case, I'm gonna register a new domain, which is Made in Brian. Yep, that looks great. And you get the domain name for free, by the way. So let's click proceed. The email address. I'm just going to fill in my details here. I might pause this video if I'm taking too long in filling it out, and then we'll pick right back up. So guys, I've filled in my details, which I've blanked out. And if we go down here, it says you can trial the service for 1 month, or you can choose the 12 months plan, which I'd recommend to get that massive saving. And here it's saying the domain registration is free. For domain privacy, I'm gonna untick that. I don't have a problem with people seeing who's behind the site. Hack alert monitoring, we can untick that as well. There's a few cool WordPress plugins in which I'm gonna show to you, which will take care of that for you. Okay, so we click agree to terms and conditions. Let's hit that pay now button. Okay, we're in business. It says order complete. Click below to verify your order. Okay. So let's do that now. Let's see what this is about. Okay, hey guys, so I had to jump on a chat just to speak to the customer support, basically because I've ordered from the US site instead of the UK one, which is where I'm based. So they just needed to verify my payment method, and as you can see here, my order has been processed, which is great. So we can continue to the next step. So next, I'm gonna check my email account for the login details, and then we'll carry right on with this tutorial. Hey guys, so now I'm checking my Gmail account for the order confirmation, which I've just placed with SiteGround. And as you can see, there's 3 emails. One's titled sales receipt, the other order confirmation and verification required for my domain, which I've registered with them for free. So let's have a look at the sales receipt. Okay, it's got my order information there. And let's head back and let's have a look at the order confirmation. And the order confirmation is the one with your login details in which you've used to sign up with. And let's check out the 3rd email. This one's basically saying that I need to verify my email address and that all the details I've provided is accurate. So let's go ahead and click on that link. Okay, and once you've clicked the confirm button, you'll be greeted with a page like this, which basically informs you that everything's verified and up to date. And as you can see here, it says no further action required. So let's head back into my Gmail account. And let's log into our cPanel. Okay, so we'll use the email address I used to sign up with. Let's click this link here. Okay, you'd enter it there. Input your password, which is already auto-filled because I saved it. Sign in. Okay, and then let's head over to my accounts. Okay, and what we're looking for is this link here, which says go to cPanel. So let's click on that. Okay, click proceed. Okay, so now we're in our cPanel, our control panel. Yep. And we're looking for that magical one-click WordPress installer. So we can see it right here, and it's also located down here as well. So what's cool is SiteGround also gives you a few extra tools like WordPress auto update, a few toolkit, a couching plugin which will help speed up your website, and also a staging feature. So if you want to make custom changes to your website without it going live to your readers directly, you can create a copy of your website and use it in the staging area, and you can do all the edits there. But for now, let's click on that WordPress installer. Okay, we'll click the install. Let's change that to www. And you can set it to a non-www version if you wish. If you're using a SSL certificate, you can also use the SSL version. But for now, I'm just going to use the normal www. And site name, I'm going to put that as made in Brian. Okay, and then the site description, which is also referred to as a tagline of your website. I'm gonna set mine as awesome website toots. Great. Okay, admin username. I'm going to use just Brian, and you can use whatever you want, although I wouldn't recommend using usernames such as admin or user, because that's what spammers and hackers typically tend to use when they're trying to gain access to your website. I would keep this box here ticked, as it helps protect your site from brute force attacks and other hackers trying to gain entrance to your WordPress website. And under advanced option, this is another pro tip here. By default, a lot of the cPanel installers use the prefix WP, which is easy to guess by hackers, so I'll change it to something random. Like in my case, I'm going to change it to MB. And let's click install, and let's see what happens. So within a matter of seconds, my brand new website will be live to the world. And this is how easy it is to make a website, guys. So here we are. Let's have a look. Okay, voila, this is my new website. As you can see, it's got the site name here and the site description, which I chose. And this is the 2017 WordPress theme created by the guys over at wordpress.org. Excellent, it looks awesome. So let's log in. Okay. Let's log in with the information you just filled in. Also as well, guys, there should be an email confirmation of your new WordPress install. So if I head back over to my Gmail, yep, I've got a new email. So let's go ahead and log in, guys. Okay, great. So I've logged into the admin area of my brand new WordPress website. So let's double check the front end again. Okay, excellent. So let's head back over to our checklist. So we're on step 4, which is designing your website. Choose a theme. Now there's numerous amount of themes in which you can choose from. For example, if you're creating a website which you're planning on selling advertisements or something like that, you might want to check out this collection here. If you wanted to do affiliate marketing, you could check out this collection. And also if you use a WordPress theme, which is super optimized for search engine, you can also check out this collection. But for this example, we're going to create a website with one of these free business themes, which is hand created by myself and our 4 other team members, who go out and test several hundreds of themes and then report back with the best ones. So let's head over to this collection here. Okay, great. So in this collection for 2017, our collections are regularly updated. So if you happen to be watching this video 5 years from now, it's very likely that this date will actually say 2022, if my math is correct. Okay, so let's have a look. In this table here, you can see our top 5 recommended templates, in which you can just click on to save looking through all 63 WordPress themes. If you don't mind looking, you can keep scrolling down, and once you find one that you like, simply click the link, head over and download the theme, and in a second I'll show you how to install it. So for this example, I'm just going to go with unconditional. So we'll click that link, head over to the website, and we can download it or view the demo. In this case, we can download it. Oh, another cool thing is in your WordPress dashboard, if you go to appearance, then themes, we can see that the 2017 theme is installed already. Let's click add new. You could also do that here. Now we can search for a theme that's listed in the WordPress.org database, or we can simply upload it from our computer, upload the file from our computer. If you downloaded a particular theme, we'd simply find a theme and then upload it. But in this case, I am aware that the unconditional theme is actually on the WordPress directory, so I'm just going to simply search for it. Okay, and here it is. So we simply click install, installing, and then activate. Great. So if we go back to the front end of our website and do a quick refresh, voila, our new theme is installed, but it's not quite finished there. We still got a bit to do. That's quite awesome. So depending on the theme you've chosen as well, you can either click this customized button, or you can head back over to your WordPress admin, and under appearance, there's usually an option which says theme option. But because this theme actually allows you to customize your website in real time, we're just going to click the customize button here. And we can change pretty much everything on the page. So we can change the site title. Let's change it to something random, like or like my new awesome website. Okay, great. But I'm just going to change it back to how it was. Okay, you can also upload your own company logo and also a site icon, which is also known as a favicon, and that's the little icon that you'll see at the top of your browser. So let's go back and we can edit things like the intro here. Excellent. But for this example, I'm going to fill it with a few dummy texts, so bear with me. Okay, so I've got my content fillers, which I'm basically going to use for this tutorial just to speed things up slightly. And of course, you will swap out all the information, all the text for your own information which matches your brand / company. Okay, so we're going to edit the call to action area here, which is this one. It's fair to say that this looks pretty bland and boring, so let's add a bit of spice to it. So first we'll go to CTA options and let's paste in my home info text. Okay, so already that's looking somewhat better. Okay, here we can change the call to action on the left from learn more to, for example, read more, or whatever you want it to be. And then you'll simply add the link here in which you'd like the user to end up once they click on this button. So I'm going to change that back to learn more. Okay, and that's it for this section. So you can also change the sign up button here to whatever you choose to. So that's it for that section. Let's head back. Okay, yes, let's edit the services section. So here we can see it says made with Bootstrap, which it is. Important note, guys, to get these icons here, it uses a popular service which is called font icon, which you can click on. I'll copy the URL from here. Let's do that now, and let's paste that into a new tab. Hit enter, and let's see what it brings up. Okay, so here we got all the different icons in which you can use, which is great. Okay, I want one which has got a briefcase. Let's search and see if they've got that. Okay, here we go. So we got the briefcase. Let's copy that text. We can ignore the FA because the theme automatically adds it. Let's just double check to see if that works. Okay. Yep, there we go. We've got a briefcase there. Excellent. And I'm also going to change the heading of that section as well to what we do. Okay, I'm going to fill in a few dummy texts. Okay, excellent. That's looking very good. Instead of read more, okay, we'll leave it to read more. I was going to put learn more, but we've already got it here, so we'll leave that as read more. Okay, and then for the second section, Let's change the title to our services. Okay, that looks great. And again, let's fill in some dummy text. And I quite like the flag, so we're going to leave that there. And then the third and final section. And I want a different icon, so I'm going to search for light. For light bulb. Yep, here we go. And then I'm going to paste it in here. Okay, awesome. That looks great. And we can copy this text again and paste it in here. Okay, perfect. Let's move on to the next section. So we can edit the blog post feed, which is this section here. We can edit the amount of blog posts would like to be featured in this section, which is great to keep your users engaged and also educate them at the same time. So we can change the title from latest news on Brian, made in Brian, or we can hide that section altogether. Oops, let's click this on here. Okay, there we go, it's gone. But we're going to leave it, and I'm also going to leave the title as it is. And let's go back. Portfolio. In order to enable the portfolio feature, we need to activate it in Jetpack first, which is unique to this theme. And I'm going to show you how to do that shortly. Colors. Let's have a look at the colors. I'd like that to be white, so we can select white here. Excellent, that looks good. And also let's get rid of this featured image here. So let's go to header image, and I've already uploaded a few. To upload a new one, we'll click add new. Okay, and then you simply upload it from your computer or Mac, whatever you're using, or simply drag and drop it. In this case, I've already uploaded an image in which I want. You'd select it, and you might need to crop it depending on the size of it, just so it fits nicely. So we'll just go ahead and click select and crop. And I personally would crop it so it looks something like this. And because I've already done it, I'm gonna X this off because I've already done it here. And let's click on that. And let's have a look how it looks. That looks a lot better, I think. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, another pro tip in which you can use with this theme is you can remove the header image altogether. And then let's go back here, and if we click background image, if we select the same image here, boom, there we go. I think this one looks a lot better. It looks less stretched, sorry. You get this parallax scrolling effect, which looks super nice. Yeah, that looks very professional and clean. I like that. Let's leave that as it is. Menus, I think we're going to have a look at this shortly. Widgets. Okay, so we can edit the main sidebar widgets here. So we could remove the meta description or whatever it is if we want, by clicking remove, and then there you go, it's gone. I've added an about us section here, which I've done by simply clicking on add a widget, and then selecting text. Then I filled in the information and titled it like that. So let's delete this one because we don't need to. Okay, let's save and publish. We're not quite finished yet, but let's save and publish just to have a look at how the site's looking. So just to remind you, this is how the site currently looks. Not bad. Let's click save and publish and let's see what we've done so far. Okay, so that's saying it's saved. We can click the X button. Okay, and that's took us back to the admin area. So let's hover over this home icon here and then click visit site. Okay, awesome. That looks incredible. Okay, and we're not finished yet, but it's looking a lot better. That's looking very good. So let's head back to the blog post and see what we need to do next. So we've chosen a theme. We've changed the title / logo. Let's edit the WordPress permalink. Okay, for those of you that's not familiar what WordPress permalink is, so head over to the site. So if we click on this post here, by default, it seems that SiteGround is edited the permalinks for us, but I'm not quite happy with this date in the URL. So let's head over to the admin area. And let's click on settings, then permalinks, and then I'll just leave it as the post name. You're most welcome to leave it as it is currently, but for SEO purposes and for the best user experience, I'd set it as the post name. Unless you're running a news site, then you might want to include the date in as well. So let's click save. Let's go on the front end, refresh, and let's see the changes. Okay. So as you can see, the date's been removed, so we can tick that off our list. And let's head back over to this guide here. So install our recommended plugins. Okay. Let's do that now. Let's head back to the dashboard area. Let's navigate to plugins. Now the first plugin I would install is Yoast SEO. So let's search for that now. Yoast SEO, there we go. Install and activate. Now this plugin will help take care of most, if not all, your on-site SEO issues. Let's click activate. Okay, and then let's click on the Yoast icon here, Yoast SEO dashboard. General, okay, features. We can ignore these. Your information. So this is your site name. This is what you want to be found for in Google. Now you can choose whether you're a company or a person. In my case, this is a person, so I'd click that. And I could put my name. I could put Brian. Oops, I can't spell my own name. Harris. Webmaster Tools. You can easily connect your Google Search Console, Bing Webmaster Tools, and so on. But we'll cover this in a different tutorial. Security. This is not needed. Okay, I think for the most part we're all set. And I'm going to show you what this tool does in a second. So let's head back. Okay. In fact, let's show you now. So when you go to create a new post or page, so we can see we've already got this post there, but let's click add new. Let's call this one test. Okay, and here you'd put your content / information. So basically Yoke's SEO gives you this section here. As you can see, it's showing you what your blog post would look like in a URL. So if someone was to search for tests, they'd see tests, they'd see content, they'd see our website name, and we can choose the focus keyword in which we want to target. So for this example, it'd be tests. Again, I'm going to go over this shortly. I just want to give you a quick overview of the Yoke's SEO tool. And here, as you can see, it's giving us a couple recommendations, which you can read through at your own leisure. And for the most part, this is what it does. Okay, so let's go back to plugins, add new. These are a few other plugins in which I recommend. Okay, so we've got that one. We want to get a caching plugin just to help speed up our website. So we'll type in WP Super Cache. I think it might have been there actually. Here we go. Install and activate. And if you haven't noticed already, our website is already quite super fast. As you can see, it took less than a few seconds there to load, which is extremely fast. And now we're gonna turbocharge it for the best possible user experience, and Google loves a fast site. Okay, so that's activated, has it? Let's see, yep. So we can click settings, or we can navigate to this settings section here and we can see WP Super Cache, yep. Okay, so currently it's saying it's off. Let's turn it on and update. Okay, great. And for the most part, that's it. You can head into the settings and customize it if you want. But for the most part, you're off and running. Okay, so there's lots of advanced features here, which I do go over in other tutorials. If you're interested, you can head over to wpmotiverse.com and just search for caching plugins and you'll find it. But for the most part, that's it. And what other plugin would I recommend? Okay, so we've already got Jetpack installed. So we'll want to set up Jetpack. So let's head to the Jetpack icon here. Okay, connect it to a Jetpack account. For most of you guys watching this, it's very likely that you haven't got a Jetpack account. So let's click No Account and create one. Okay, email address, I'm not too sure what that is. Okay, there we go. Username, let's set it to Mead. And Brian. Password. And to sign up. Okay, so for now I'm just going to select the free version. Okay, skip this step. Okay, excellent. And Jetpack will provide you with website tracking and so on. But for the most part, I use Google Analytics, and that's what a lot of professional webmasters use. Okay, so let's go into settings and see what we got. In fact, let's go back to dashboard and let's have a look at the apps. So for the most part, we're all set. And if you notice, we've now got this portfolio section here, which has been added, which is awesome. So let me give you an example of what you can do with the portfolio section. Let's head over to the unconditional demo site. So just bear with me 2 seconds. Okay, so here we are on the official demo site of Unconditional. So let's scroll down and have a look at what I mean. So if you wanted to add a portfolio section / project section, you can do so to show off your latest work. And if we click on it, you can see you're able to add a beautiful image of your project, add some notes and a few key details regarding your project. And which is also cool is you do get to see related projects. Yep, there we go, which is awesome. So if you wanted, we can add that in. Okay. And for the most part, that's it for my recommended plugins to start with. If we head back over to the guide on WP Multiverse, you can click this link for the full list of plugins. You won't need all of them, but it's definitely worth a look. Okay, let's do that now. Okay, so if you wanted to collect email address, we got Bloom, Opt-in Monster, SEO Yokes, which you've already got, a couple of security plugins, Gravity Forms, and much more. You can have a look at that in your own time. And this page is constantly being updated, so do check it regularly for our new and recommended plugins. So let's get back to the guide. Okay, so now it's time to add a few pages like our contact page, about us page, team page, service page, and so on. So let's go ahead and set that up now. So let's head back over to our dashboard. Okay, then we go to pages. And we want to click on add new. We're going to add a contact page, contact us page. Okay, let's add a contact form. Okay, we can customize our contact form. We can add new fields, choose what we want those fields to be. But for the most part, I'm going to leave it as it is. Name, email, website, comment. That looks good. Let's include it. And let's click save. Well, publish. Then let's have a look. Okay, excellent. That looks awesome. That looks really awesome. I'm very happy with that. So we've got our first page, which is our contact page. We can add a few more information like our company location, email address, phone number, and so on. So let's head back and let's add a few more pages. So let's click add new. Now we're going to click create an about us page. Okay, now I'm going to fill this in with a few dummy text. Okay, so I've added in a few dummy text for our about us page. Let's hit publish and then let's have a look. Okay, let's hit view page. Wow, that looks great. That looks awesome. Okay, so now you know how to create a page. We can tick that off our list. Let's go back over to the guide and let's set up a menu. Okay, so we're going to navigate to appearance, then menus. Okay, so we've already got a menu set up, a main menu, but if not, if you want to create a new menu structure, you just hit this button here, create a new menu. Fill in the name. The name doesn't really matter, it's mainly for internal use. Then we'll hit create menu. Then you have the option to set it as your primary menu, so you can have different menus and just rotate. Okay, so let's hit primary menu, save, and then let's have a look at our site. There we go. Awesome. Now we've got a home button, about, and a contact us. That looks great. We can also add a portfolio button for the portfolio section, in which we're going to add shortly. Okay, let's head back over to our list. Okay, it's saying add a blog post. Okay, awesome. So to do that, we can click add new and then post, or in our dashboard, we can click on post and then add new. Okay, so we're going to create a few different style of blog posts. So for this one, let's call it inspired by Italian styles, something random. Okay, excellent. A blog category. Let's click title it general and press enter to save. Excellent. This is standard posts. Let's add a featured image. Let's upload. Let's import a few images for this example. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to use this as my featured image. So let's add that. Hit publish. And then let's have a look. Oh, also, I'm not seeing SEO yokes. So let's hit screen. There we go. Where is SEO yokes? Okay, here it is. SEO yokes. So this is how it will look in a search engine, and we can customize it. So if we want users to see something completely different from what's displayed here, we can simply type it in and they'll see that if there was the type inspired by Italian style. Okay, so let's have a look at this post. Okay, inspired by Italian style. Here it is. We could do with, yep, inspired by Italian style. Excellent. And let's add another post. Add new. So I'm gonna call this one business. Okay, let's post this as an image. Let's see how it looks. Okay, excellent. So as you can see, we've got this new image icon, and had we not put any text, I'm sure it would just be an image that's displayed here. Okay, let's head back to our home page. Okay, awesome. So now we've got 3 different poses which are nicely displayed here. And another cool thing, if you hadn't noticed, when you hover over your text logo, the site description is displayed there. So who is made in Brighton? Awesome website toots. Okay, so that's awesome. Let's create a portfolio section and then we can wrap it up for this tutorial. So let's head back to our dashboard. Let's head over to portfolio, all projects. We've got no projects. Let's click add new. Okay, for the title, again, let's include a few dummy title. Okay, project name. What shall we put for project name? Let's put design. Or for project type, in fact. Okay. For the portfolio URL, that will be your client's website's URL. Or project. For this, I'm just going to put a hash. Project type. Okay, let's put website. Okay, let's click ongoing. Okay, awesome. Let's select a featured image and then hit publish. I'm gonna upload a new image. Publish, and then let's have a look. Okay, that's looking good, but it seems we're missing a few information here. So let's re-edit this and see what happened. Okay, so we need a title for it. Let's update. And then let's have a look. There we go, excellent. That's awesome. So now let's go back to the customizer section. And we can enable the portfolio section now. There we go, that looks awesome. Let's add a few more portfolio and then we can so again, we simply repeat this process. So add new. I'm gonna try to quickly power through it. Let's check it out. Okay, awesome, another one down. Okay, that looks awesome now. So we've got a great call to action here, a beautiful scrolling parallax image, a featured section, our latest blog posts, a widget area. Here you could put your promotion, say like a banner or something like that, banner ad explaining a bit of what you do, a sign up form, and then here you've got your latest project section, which is awesome. This theme also supports custom footer area, which I'll quickly demonstrate to you. Okay, so if we head over to widgets, then footer widget 1. Okay, so I'm gonna add recent posts. Okay, so there we go, recent posts. Let's add a search. Let's remove that. Let's add a recent comment. Okay. Let's head back over to this section here. Let's add pages. Okay, that looks awesome. And then let's finish it off with a text area, in which I'm gonna copy and paste a bit of this information. Maybe reduce a bit of it. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna save this now. Save and publish. And I think that's it, guys. You've created your first website. Well, I'm assuming your first website. You've created your first website with me, Brian Harris from WP Multiverse. So we can X this off. And that's it. Voila. We can add more menu items. We can change the image around, change the text. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. You've successfully created your website in a matter of minutes, and you're ready to take on the world. If you found this video useful, please give a thumbs up and leave any comments in the comment box below, and head over to WP Multiverse to get a free WordPress toolkit, which will give you a lot of actionable information, such as the plugins you may want to use, certain settings and features in WordPress that you could use to help grow your business that I haven't covered in this video tutorial due to time. So please head over to WP Multiverse and download your free WordPress toolkit. That's it. Thanks again. Bye for now.